What's up, guys? I'm Chris, and today you're watching a magic review on the Gaff Lighter Project by Adam Wilber and Vulpine Creations. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in. Please consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment on any questions that you have about the product I'm reviewing or anything you'd like to see in the future. Let me know your thoughts. Also, don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss a video or a review. First off, I just want to apologize in the lack of content. I've been pretty absent this last week or 2 weeks if you aren't part of the secret access group that I created on Facebook. So if you're not, check that out. It's a group on Facebook that I created. Just search it under Chris Edwards Magic Secret Access. And basically, I had reviewed a few products last week in which I demonstrated and went into more detail than I feel is necessary to display publicly. So I have been posting content. You just may not see it on the channel because those are unlisted videos that will not be visible on my channel just by going to it, or you can't find them through a search. So you have to have the direct link, which you can get from that Facebook group. Basically, you join the group, and then there's 3 questions. You answer the questions. I look at those. If I feel like you're not just a lay person who is looking to, find exposure or things like that, or if we have a bunch of mutual friends as far as the magic community goes, or you're part of a number of common groups that I'm in, then it makes sense that you are actually a magician and you can join the group. And just in those videos, I will be going into more detail than usual with some products, which could be on the borderline of exposure, but not tipping methods, or not kind of like not giving away how a gimmick works, but just with certain things, like with wallets, for example. Sometimes wallets are advertised as the greatest peak wallets ever, and they do so much, but they don't show you what you get or what you do, and that's what I'm trying to do in these videos. So check that out. But I just wanted to say that's kind of why I've been lacking in the content area, or it seems that way. I've also been really busy with gigs now that restrictions have lifted here, so I got a lot going on, but I do have a lot of plans for the channel, and I'm not stopping. I also have a lot of books that I need to review. I've been reading a lot of books lately. I've completed 3 or 4 that I need to review, but I find book reviews more difficult than product reviews because it's a whole different type of thing. So anyway, lots coming, and thanks for those who've stuck around. The Gaff Lighter Project is just that. It is a project. This is more than just a trick. This is based on the color changing knives principle, but this just makes so much more sense. So my favorite color changing knives are now lighters. And I'm going to show you a quick performance of my favorite routine that's just really quick and visual. Don't mind my pajamas, but here, I have a lighter here. Okay. And if I just turn it over and give it a rub, I can actually get the logo to move to the bottom. All right. And I'll show you the moment that happens. It happens on 1, 2, 3. Back up to the top. That's neat, right? Well, actually, hold on. I didn't show you the best part. Watch. If I turn this over and just kind of heat up the logo, see, it'll smear, and that's stuck like that now. The Gaff Lighter Project is only $29, and I feel like that's such a good price. I made all of these sets. Some of them work together, some of them are standalone, but I made everything that was included for $29. Plus, I have an additional sheet for the large size lighters that I haven't used yet, and I actually ordered another full project, because this was the first time I was making these, and some of them I could have made better. So basically, you'll get a sheet. You'll get two of these, two of the sheets for the full-size lighters. And in showing you the sheet, I don't feel like that's exposing too much there. Anybody who already understands how color changing knives work understands how this works. And for those that don't understand how color changing knives work, that will make no sense. So anyway, you get two sets to make the full-size Bic lighter gaffs, and then you get another sheet to make the mini Bic lighter gaffs. But what Adam has also done is he has included a PDF file that gives you all the templates so you can reprint your own. And not only that, but he has made it so that the templates, you can insert any picture, any design, any pattern that you want to get creative and create your own versions of these that aren't already made up and designed by Adam himself. So these ones here, you have your standard color changing knives routine with a really killer kicker ending. The one I showed you in the performance, that one is my favorite. It's just something very quick, very visual, uses a lighter that looks just like a lighter that everybody's seen. You have some different revelation lighters, and then you have a lighter that works with coins. This one, it's a kind of more of a joke, but it's, you know, you see the joke on it, right? How much do I weigh? Anybody knows that joke, enough to break the ice. So even the one that's a joke, right? It's quick, it's visual, and it breaks the ice if you're doing walk around or if you're just meeting somebody and you want to have a laugh. And so overall, and then and this one here, I do want to make note on this one. This one needs to have a bit of a setup to do, but it is phenomenal, right? Like this one doesn't follow the principle of the color changing knives. It's kind of its own thing, but very creative, very unique, and I think that this one it's really good. The tutorial, you're getting so much with the tutorial. You're getting, Adam goes over everything that's included, and then he also goes over how to use the templates and create your own images and designs on your computer, as well as how to print them out. And he spends a lot of detail on how to place the stickers on the lighters. And then on top of that, you know, not only has he given so much when it comes to the templates to create your own and print your own so you don't have to buy, you know, refills of the project, but he also recommends using packing tape to add an extra layer of protection over the sticker, because the stickers are made of vinyl. They are durable, they will last, but eventually they may start to wear down. And Adam says in the tutorial that he actually likes that look of the lighter getting worn because it just makes it look that much more of an everyday object that's used, that's in his pocket. But if you cover your gaff lighters with a strip of this packing tape, it's super clear. You can't tell that there's any tape on it, but that extra layer of protection will make it so that these don't fade, these don't wear down, these don't come off. And you know, so just by doing that, I think that's a super generous tip, because that's basically making these indestructible, which means you'll never have to replace them if you don't want to. Also included in the 3.5-hour tutorial is detailed instructions for routines with every one of these lighters. You're also getting things that you don't see here that include some other revelations. So on the back of this hypnotic pattern, you have a card revelation, you have a card revelation on the back of this Your Card lighter, and then he also provides you with additional stickers that you can just place on other things, like that you're carrying in your pocket, that have a really cool illusion where if you look at it just head on, it looks like a barcode, but if you look at it, you know, from an angle, it'll say like you will choose the 10 of clubs. So he's included so many extras with this, even on top of what's given in the project. Like the Gaff Lighter Project, this is it. but then he's went above and beyond and included things that don't even have to do with lighters. Difficulty level. So some of these, the routines, take a bit more practice. There's obviously more steps involved with, say, the color changing knives, or, color changing lighters routine than there would be for, say, this icebreaker routine, or even the one that I did in the performance. But overall, the difficulty level is very easy. I was unsure of how the paddle move worked with lighters, and I have practiced it before just with regular lighters, but I was surprised, and actually having the visual change and things like that, how easy it is to actually do. So overall, extremely easy to use. And then each unique lighter, if there are additional moves, they're also very simple, like the smear, and then there's also a fingerprint one. It's all very easy. Even this one that that kind of has to be set up in advance. Like, you wouldn't carry this. You can carry this lighter around in your pocket. You're going to need something extra. You probably already have it. You can't really carry this around in your pocket set up, so it's more you go into that one knowing that you're going to perform it. Angles, there really are no angle restrictions. Anybody who's familiar with the color changing knives, if you have people behind you or to your side, you just hold your lighter down lower, and they're not going to see the parts that they're not supposed to until they're supposed to. Setup and reset. So one time setup, you have to make the gaffs, you have to make the lighters, put them together, construct them. But after that, there really is nothing to do. There is a reset on a couple of them, like this one, for example. It has to be set up every time. Aside from that, there is no reset. They can be performed again instantly if you're doing walk around or anything like that, which is extremely nice. I guess on the arts and craft section, which I did mention, all of these have to be made. And that's basically because, if they were to come pre-made, this project would be a lot more money, because all these lighters would have to have been included. And I'm guessing there may have been complications with shipping anything flammable. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it does make sense why they just sent out the sticker pages. And it didn't take long. I made all of these in a few hours, and to make these, it's not difficult, especially if you're watching the tutorial. Adam really explains very well how to make these as best as you possibly can. There's still some of these that I want to trim up and add some of the packing tape to, so even I'm not completely finished with these. There's a few that I have been using a lot over the last couple of weeks that are complete, but I know the ordering another set, this was kind of like not a practice set, but as I went along, I picked up things with each lighter that made the next one easier, or made the next one's quality a little bit better. So now that I've made a set, I ordered another one so that I can make like a perfect set of all of them. Can it be inspected? So yes and no. I mean, a lot of these end in a way. There are different phases to the routines depending on how you choose to do them. So some of them I wouldn't have them inspected, just because they will find the secret if they look. But even with that said, there are certain moves that I've seen in color changing knife routines that even though the sides are different, the move kind of justifies why only one side changed. So it's totally up to you. If you want to incorporate moves to where that makes sense, then absolutely they can be handed out and inspected, examined. Other ones on their own just can be, like the one that I showed with the smear, you can hand that out after. The girl with the balloon, you can hand that out later. The color changing knife lighters, you can hand those out later, because it ends in a phase where it makes sense that visual change at the end is like that now. Pocket space. So they're lighters, right? The mini Bics are going to take up less pocket space, and the larger ones are going to take up a little bit more, but the fact that they're lighters means they're not taking up much at all. Is it a worker, and who would use this? So lately I have been performing and working a lot on mentalism, right? But when I got this, I was extremely excited about it, and I've been performing with these every day, whether it's at work or just people that I know or that I'm hanging out with. So I was really excited when I got this, and it's been a lot of fun. Some of the changes, you almost fool yourself. Like, even though you know what you're doing, what's going on, the visual looks so good that even your eyes feel like what you're doing is actually happening, which is incredible to me. But is this a worker? Yeah, for sure. I'm going to use this in all of my walk around routines. Like, it just makes sense. So all walk around, all close up, like just casual settings. I'll use these all the time. Is it worth the money? This is only $29. You have an infinite amount of possibilities with this because of the included templates. So if you have ideas or you have images on your computer, basically with the way that Adam has set this up, you can open it up on your computer and you can literally just click and drag images into the templates. It'll size, like it'll fit to size itself, and then you just print them off. I would use like a vinyl sticker paper, but there are ways to do it even just with regular paper, right? Some double stick tape or some adhesive, and then wrap it in packing tape. And there's so much that you can do with this. It's absolutely worth the $30. I think even if you wouldn't have included the do-it-yourself kind of PDF stuff and the amount you get, it's totally worth the price. Pros and cons. I'm going to tell you right now, I have no negatives, no cons. There's nothing bad about any of this. Even some of the ones that I likely won't use often, like the polar bear one, it still has its place, right? It's cute, it's funny. Lots and lots of pros, because this, for me, is the final answer to anything color changing. And while I do still love the color changing knives, I always have. I've performed color changing knives on video, in person, and at walk around gigs that I've worked. Because if you're working a gig as an entertainer, as a magician, I don't think you need to justify your props. I'm not a person who feels that you necessarily need to justify any of your props. If you're doing something with objects that are out of the norm, then you're obviously an entertainer, a performer of some sort, and I don't think that you need to explain everything that you have. However, with this, it's very explainable, I guess, for lack of a better term. Everybody carries lighters in their pocket. I don't smoke, and I carry a lighter in my pocket, always have. Um, Women usually carry lighters in their pocket because of certain makeup, I believe. I don't remember what it was or how it works, but I know a lot of women who carry lighters in their purse because of something they do with makeup. But also, like, people have candles, people have incense, people have a number of things, right? So having a lighter just seems completely normal, makes sense. If I'm carrying a knife, it's usually like, this is my everyday carry for a knife. It's just a little one, right? So if I need to open stuff, this is what I'll use. If I'm going outdoors or doing outside things, like, I'm using this bigger one. But I never carry around a knife like this. And not to say that it's out of the norm, like, I have no problem performing with color changing knives. I don't need to justify that, but with the lighter, it feels right. And being able to do what you can with these lighters and carry them every day and not have that seem like something out of the norm, I think is a huge pro. And I think the other pros I've already mentioned, right? Like, you get so much in the tutorial, you get so much in the project, and the sky is the limit. You can do so much with this. Just get creative. I think that kind of covers everything I had to say on the Gaff Lighter Project. Go pick this up, trust me. Even if you're not a close-up worker, or a person who does a lot of visual magic, like maybe you're a mentalist, this is still so much fun to do, and you'll get a lot out of it. I told Adam, I said, this to me, I would put this down as like trick of the decade. And I know that that is a tall order, and there are other things in other genres that are very, very good. There are some other big money makers out there and whatnot, but just the fact that I have used these multiple times every single day, that's not something I do often. You know, I do perform often, and whether it's working or just, you know, for fun, there isn't something that I usually use every day as much as I've already used this. So I've been having a ton of fun with this. Very easy to use, super visual, and the reactions are great. I give this a 10 out of 10, even though I don't do my reviews on a number rating. But if I did, it would get a 100%. Thank you guys for watching. Lots more to come. Make sure you check out the secret access group, and we'll see you at the next review.